What is for you an image?
An idea which has to be processed through light and shadow. Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Greece.
And how old are you?
I'm 36.
And where do you live?
I live in Holland, in Amsterdam.
And when and why did you move there?
I moved in August 2000. I went for studies. I studied in Greece, but I wanted to continue studying art. I went to Amsterdam directly. I studied at the Rietveld Academy for 2 years. And then after that I did my master's at the same academy.
What do you look for when you film?
That's a very interesting question. Actually, there are usually two things. One thing is the things I want to have in my frame and that I planned for, to be everything in the right place, in the right way. What I hope for is that all these elements will click very nicely together and create something which is not expected. So usually I hope for unexpected results, but based on elements that I create. The life of an artist is a constant evaluation of who you are, what you think, what you want to do. And you know, there's not any particular lifestyle that implies that you are an artist. You have to decide for yourself how you want to be as an artist. So this eventually takes lots of time. I mean, the decision to become an artist, it came gradually. You know, it was not something that I decided from the first moment that I want to be an artist. It was more that I want to make art, which is different from I want to be an artist. So me making art, it was more about creating paintings, and later on creating sculptures, and later on creating architectural installations, and then making films. So it was a process. Being an artist, it is a constant process of evaluating what you do, and eventually this becomes a lifestyle that, however, makes you also be an artist. If I have to answer your question very sharply, it was not a decision that I answered immediately, but it's something that it took its time. So now I think more than ever, I think that I live the life of an artist, because also I depend on the life of me as an artist. I work as an artist. My profession, it is the artistic profession.
What kind of idea did you have about Tuscany?
To be honest, I didn't have the slightest idea about Tuscany.
Oh no! Sta piovendo sulla telecamera.
For me, working with a group of artists, it was a big challenge. And trying to apply my methods in the work with them was also a challenge. Because obviously a group of 5 or 6 different artists, it puts up a big challenge, because each one of them has his own or her own strategies according to the way they make art, that they produce art. However, I found a lot of common things that was also due to the selection of the artists based on their works, that issues such as history, social issues, contemporary issues, I thought they were very obvious in the work of each one of these artists. but also this potential of being very creative and very open to new artistic methods. Obviously, we start with the city. What is the city? And what is the history of the city? So the city is obviously its architecture, its space, its planning, its people, its monuments, the myths, personal stories. How can we relate to all of these things? How we can have a new approach to the history of the city. So I came up with the motto, reading the city. That was the first step. Include all these different aspects and engage the artists in a new reading of the city through all these different elements. The second step was to try articulate how we can read the city. So I thought that it's very important to have a guided tour around the city and its monuments with a tour guide. The second thing was to visit particular locations that are very important to the history of the city. For example, the Piaggio Museum, and later on to visit the village of Piaggio, which is a city within the city, a kind of gated community built back in 1946 after the Second World War, when Piaggio actually turned its production from making aeroplanes and heavy industry into mass production of the known Piaggio motorbikes and scooters. So looking more closely into these areas, these venues, these places, I thought it was very important. Another aspect was to create a more substantial relation between the now, the present, and the past. And for me, that worked out through the visit of several archives.